About 6 months ago, I covered this upcoming FPS game called Wardogs and showed you some screenshots and a few gameplay snippets from their website. Since then, the developers at Bulkhead have been cooking, and a few weeks ago they released a video showing a lot more gameplay than ever before. And I gotta be honest, as a Battlefield player, I really like what I'm seeing so far. But what is Wardogs all about, and who are the devs behind it? Well, Wardogs describes itself as a game that rewrites the rules of all-out warfare. 3 teams conflict over land, sea and air to seize and secure a dynamic 100-player battlefield, where every tactical decision, team play action and risk gets rewarded. So Wardogs is an all-out warfare sandbox shooter with a modern setting and large maps that are inspired by real-world locations like Eastern Europe, for example. It aims for a gritty, realistic tone and atmosphere and will have 3 teams fight in combined arms combat with up to 100 players per server. Right now, the game is in its pre-alpha state and, according to the developers, still far away from an alpha. But they already showed us quite a few of its gameplay mechanics in a recent post, so it will offer an array of modern weapons, vehicles and aircraft, even sea vehicles, will make use of artillery on the battlefield, which looks like it can be used to take out vehicles or attack enemy positions. It will have a large amount of destruction that actually reminds me a bit on the clip that was officially shared for Battlefield 6 a few weeks ago with his front of the building coming down. It looks pretty much the same, to be honest. And Wardogs will even have the ability to build fortifications like tank stoppers, for example, so pretty much what we had in Battlefield 5. I'm also pretty sure we're seeing a down state here where the soldier is waiting for a revive, probably with the option to skip it or hold on to it. And the maps in general show war-torn landscapes and destroyed buildings and also hint at dynamic weather effects. And that's only what we can take from the new gameplay. In older clips and screenshots there was even more. We've got a glimpse of the weapons, for example, like the AK, G36, SCAR or Vector. For the Vector we even got a first look at the weapon inspection and reload animation. We've seen different types of helicopters actively engaging in combat, from transport helis to what seems to be a little bird. It also looks like squads will not only have a 1 or 4 player limit, but will be open for a lot more players. And you might even be able to play with all of your friends or your whole platoon. And by now I think you might have gotten the same feeling and impression that I had when watching these clips, that this game looks a lot like a Battlefield. Maybe more like a realistic milsim Battlefield than a casual one, so probably more like a mix of Battlefield, Squad and Arma, but it will definitely become a competitor of these games, and if they do it right, it could definitely find its place in the shooter market. Now, with Delta Force, we have seen that sometimes things look a lot better than they actually are, and that shooter players don't really need and also don't want the next hero shooter in their library, but instead a lot of them are looking for a good old grounded gameplay experience with a more realistic touch. And this is actually where Wardogs could find its audience. Now, if the developer Bulkhead rings a bell for you, it might be because you played Battalion 1944, a game also made by this studio but met with a lot of criticism, especially around the lack of updates for the game and the lack of communication with the players. And in one of their latest posts on Twitter, they talked about all of this and also why things happened this way and why so many things went wrong in the past. They write that ever since Battalion 1944 they were trying to be a professional business with a larger publisher that was Square Enix back then, and that the pressure they got from this and the politics and decisions that were out of their control led to 3 cancelled games, including the console version of Battalion, but also to emotional exhaustion in the team and to players who believed in them but were left wondering where the studio had gone on and what had actually happened. Now, with Wardogs, they went back to being a small team of FPS players creating the games they want to play. And to say it in their own words, they fought tooth and nail to protect Wardogs from the suits and bankers. And instead, they just want to talk to the players and build this game alongside of passionate FPS fans. They also teamed up with the modding community from Arma 3 King of the Hill to help shape Wardogs. And if you never heard of King of the Hill, this is a sector control mission within Arma 3 that is also played with 3 teams, and as you play you will gain experience with which you can unlock new gear and vehicles that help your team to effectively control the zone. So I think they probably took a lot of inspiration from this mode and give it their own twist now. But that's just what I'm guessing from the little information we have about Wardogs at the moment, because right now no one except for the developers and a few people internally have given feedback and did actually play the game. And that leads me back to their most recent post where they shared that they have a limited test coming up with actual FPS gamers. But there is no date or time frame for this test yet. But if you're interested in a chance to test their game early, you should keep an eye on their X account or Twitter account, because over there they will share more details once the time has come, and it shouldn't be too long anymore. But from what they're writing, they're looking for passionate FPS fans. If you are a content creator or a streamer though, you can already sign up to their partner program for a chance to become a part of the development journey and also for a chance to give feedback on the game and its gameplay features early on. Additionally, they are also looking for people who want to join their team and who are quote-unquote passionate about making an actual all-out warfare shooter, which is probably a little notch at Battlefield here, specifically 2042. But if you want to work in game development or you did before and are looking for a new opportunity, this might be interesting for you as well. And yeah, that was it for today. I just wanted to give you another overview of this game and how the development is going and the little bit of information that we got about it during the last weeks, because I thought it is really interesting, especially for Battlefield players and for Battlefield fans. And to be honest, no matter how good or not so good the next Battlefield will be, even if it is really good, I'm always happy to see a competitor to Battlefield, because competition is always good. So tell me in the comments what your impression or your opinion of Wardogs is so far, and if you would be interested in playing it or not. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.